So let us pull up our game. Let me make sure it's up. Yes, it is. Okay. And then we'll give everybody a chance to come in while I'll turn this on, and then we'll give everybody a chance to come in. We'll take the logo down. Look at our pretty little town. It is so pretty. I did some things this weekend because I can. I know I promised that I would. I know I promised that I would try not to do things off camera while we're working on this, but we got to the point yesterday or over the weekend. I realized that there was no way to not work on some things off camera, and that is things like tile sets and stuff like that. A lot of Photoshop work, and then I wanted to do some mock-ups of just some people in the town, so that we're not using the gray cat from the tutorial everywhere, because like this guy right here, cats are on the roof. Wow, who knew? Of course cats are on the roof. They're cats. That's what cats do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load in the tile set that I made this weekend and see how it works out. It may be good, it may be crap, but it does change the look and feel of everything quite a bit. So let's see what we can do here. See if I can find the right one. It's in here. So we'll load that up. So that tile set, and then we're going to come down here and we need to load this up so that the roofs match. So the goal was to replace the tile set from the tutorial so that we don't get in trouble for using it. So this is now the tops of the buildings that I drew this weekend, and then this is the new tile set, and we're gonna go back to the town now, and this is what it kind of looks like all put together. Yeah. So we have, let me zoom in here a little bit because it looks a little bit grainy from above here. Oops. So yeah, so we did some nice little dirt pattern here, put some buildings in, made some make some benches. We still have the old cat people, but but then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to use the little cat people to for what we're going to do, and it's not like I don't really need anything to animate. So oh look, I did this. Oh wait, something needs fixing. Let's go back to our tile set, because I also made little bridge parts, so I can actually make the bridge look like it's actually a bridge now. Boom, boom. And then this one for the other side. See, now it's like a 3D bridge. Ooh, yay, 3D bridge. So, yeah, I mean, it's very low poly stuff. It's a real thing. So then, like I said, then I'm like, okay, well, what if we put, what if I went and made some people, and to replace all of the cats that we had put in, but we need a people for each building, and I wanted it not just to be the same people, but it's okay because I only made single images of them, and I'll show you how I did it because I actually used a program to do it, an AI program. So you change the cats for Vikings. Yes. How do you know that? How do you know I changed them for Vikings? Do you see them? I don't see them. Yes, I made Viking people. Fine. You gave it away. See how you are? So, since every building needs peoples, and some of them need more than one people, I did this. I made townspeople. Look, townspeople. Now we have townspeople. because that's what we want, Vikings. So now we have a candlestick maker. See if you guys can see that on screen because I'm on the edge. I'm living on the edge. We have a little priest guy. We have a school teacher. And they're just really rough because I had to shrink them down. We have our leader. We have our village idiot. Because you need a village idiot. No. And we down here we have the stable master. And the blacksmith. And the bar wench and the waitress. And the pottery guy girl. There, let's look at it this way. Let's go. Let's do a build and then we can walk around and look at them. Okay. Sorry, Photoshop is jumping up in my face here. So like I said, it would have been impossible for me to draw all of these this weekend as well as do the tile set. So I did do the tile set by hand, but all the people I did not. No, I didn't remove them yet because the cats are still all there. You've been working hard this weekend, yeah. You missed removing a gray cat from... No, I have not removed the cats yet. So I will remove the cats. So let us get this up here. We need down here. Game Capshaw. Capshaw, my game. Thank you. All right. So you can see that the tile set actually does go everywhere just because we replaced the main tile set. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, see, so we can walk up to them. They don't look too bad in the game. They don't look great in the editor, but I did go ahead and put stuff on them. I make candles. Come to me for faith and wisdom. They're like, I will teach your kids. So see, yeah, the cats are still up there. I am the leader of the town. This guy's my favorite guy, in all honesty. I am the village idiot. What has 2 legs and can't walk? A pair of pants. But I put a little bit of text on each person so we know who they are. Need help with your horse, which is the stable guy. Then I'm Bob the blacksmith. Need new shoes for your horse? We got the girls here. I'm a barmaid. What can I get for you, honey? Sorry, that was very southern. I am the waitress at the restaurant. I make pottery. Since we haven't named everybody yet, yeah, I'm the apothecary. You can find me in the general store. I am the storekeeper. Carpenter, I work with wood. Butcher, he didn't have anything to say. I'm Greg the baker. Making clothes. So yeah, so at least I cut hair. I cut your hairs. So yeah, so I just thought that it would be better to have like people, because we do have to replace the main guy at some point too, so that... Oh, I forgot the kid. And then I just put a kid in here. Hi, I'm Zach. Want to throw axes at fish? Because kids. That's what kids do. Kids throw axes at fish. So yeah, no, the gray cats have not been removed, but they will be. Oh, another thing I did, and they're just temp. I did make some, we go up here to, oh, I screwed that up. I'll fix that later. I did make little statues for mom and pop statues. And I didn't put the the wording on them. But I thought that would be better than just tombstones because these are supposed to be special ancestor stuff. Yeah. But that's kind of where we're at. Because I thought that it would be good to like have something different than grass here, so that it's more of a maybe we'll do a wall, a brick wall around it, maybe just something to kind of bring it back to something more important. So it looks more important, you know, just for the sake of having something there that is different. So if we go over the family thing, if we said, even if we went something as simple as like throwing this wall up and around them, might be enough to make it kind of cool. Let's try it. So if we do something like this, where we let me turn the collide off. So if we put a wall around them, so it's like a family crypt wall type thing. Use the whole wall tiles here. I do have to make corners still, but you'll get the general gist of it. Probably off screen, aren't I? Yeah, I'm off screen. Move that over. Okay, why is it not? Nope, that's not the one we want to move. Game Maker, that's the one we want. Okay, yeah. There. So yeah, so we can just like mock up a wall around them so it looks like just a little bit cleaner, I guess, or a little bit more, you know. And then we can take our old fence and just put a oh yes, we need to go to yeah for that. Put the fence in there. Make it a small fence. It doesn't have to be a big fence. So yeah, but I was really happy with the grass and stuff because it doesn't look too repetitive. It's not perfect, but it will get us where we need to be and get us at least started. But I did do a lot of work on the different things. I just thought it would be better, and built some brick stuff. So there. Then we got a wall around it with a little fence, and we can take the basics here and possibly change all that. So if we go, yeah, if we go to the bottom tiles, we can make it kind of all bricked in where the families are. That way it's a little bit more specially as I screw everything we just did. Got to keep the walls. That way at least it kind of looks like it's and I'll probably make some flatter, not so stony, but flatter tiles for this part in the middle. That kind of thing. So something like that might be a better way. If you want him to answer, oh, here. I've been buying assets since they're pretty good. Yeah, but the whole point was we were trying to do things that didn't cost us money, you know, and this was part of that. You know, so none of the stuff that we have right now has cost us any money. Yeah, if this was smoother, it would actually look better because the statues would stand out more. And we'll have to build some really good shadows for the statues. Ads are coming. So yeah, so now we have that kind of set up. I think that kind of works. In fact, let's do this real quick. One more of those and just put it underneath the gate, just so. But yeah, let's go back to town. Now we can do the thing where we drop all the shopkeepers out, which is all the cats. Drop the cats out. Goodbye, cats. All the gray cats. We'll keep the orange cat for right now, just to have him there. But yeah, so at least that gives us a little bit more life. And when we decide on what what style our town is actually in, it may not be Vikings, it might be something else. But let me see if I can pull up how I got all the Viking pictures so quickly. There was a website. Let me see if I still have it up here. Doesn't look like I do. Let's see if I can get it too. Because I found it and lost it and then found it again. So let me see if I can get it here. So I found this. Let me see. Let's see. I need a window capture. We want Firefox. Oh, that's the one we want. So I found this online and it actually helped out quite a bit, which is this thing. And what this is and I put it on standard and quality. As soon as this is done, we'll go over it. I'll put in what I wrote for. Hopefully I saved it. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. I put it in here somewhere. I know I did. While I look for that, please pay attention to the ads being played in front of you. That's weird. I could have swore I saved what I wrote because I wanted to make sure that I didn't lose it. Oh, wait, no, it was in the village, at the bottom of the village. Yes, there it is. We will wait the 47 seconds. And then I'll show you kind of what I did and how I did it. And what it gave me, because it gave me some decent stuff that we can use for temp, and it's free. So for mock-up purposes, I thought it was pretty good for mock-up purposes. And I looked at several AIs as far as for making quick art, and this one just kind of ended up doing what I wanted it to do. So, yeah. Okay, so here's what I did is I found this website and I went to several, and this one is Retro Game Art Generator. And what I wrote in there, I believe I have it copied. Yeah. So create 3 characters: a Viking clergy, a Viking apothecary, and a village idiot standing. And then I had it generate it. And this was, and it says it's random. It will create them. The cool thing about this one is you can also say, okay, remove the background. And it will remove the background so that you have them on alpha, which I thought was actually quite helpful. So what I did was I ran this with each kind of person I wanted in the town. Now, granted, these are way too high quality for our little thing. But what I ended up with, let me see if I can get it on this. Explorer reference. Yes, okay. So here is what I ended up with in, not the top one, but there's our barber at the top. This is our barmaid, our boarding house owner, and then the teacher. Yeah. And then down here we have the blacksmith, the barber, and the baker. So I took all those and then made them small. But for mock-ups, because I was picking up references too, trying to get it to make different things, and it didn't. It didn't make the way I wanted them. So we pull this up here so we can pull this a little higher. Then here's our waitress and our different guys, stable master, all that stuff. So yeah, but those were generated by this other program. They're not me, but they're generated by this program here, which is called, and I'll put the link up for it in the thing. But for making characters, because here's the way I was thinking is, as we go and you can see that these are the actual art. I just made them small, and they look like hell in Photoshop because this doesn't, you can't set sizes on this thing, so it's yeah. But I wanted high quality ones to begin with, which can work out because as we add like the talking and stuff inside the game. So if I go back to our build and run it, let's see where we at. When they talk to us, get to one of them. My theory was this: is they may look a little crappy in game, but while we're playing, and we go to talk to them, if say we talk to the teacher, then on the side here where we could put their portrait, in that portrait we could use the artwork like that. My joke is I need Photoshop. Well, you can do it in Paint as well. Just pull them into Paint and cut them out, and then change them, because Paint is a viable program. So if we go to Paint, we open Paint here, and let me see. Let me open an image. Let's see if we can. I'm pretty sure we can do this in Paint. The show. Sorry, I'm looking for assets real quick. Yeah, so yeah. So let me pull this up. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. Okay. So here is, let me get the game out of the way. So here is this is in Paint. So let me make this a little bit smaller. But this is actually in Paint. And we can make all the adjustments in Paint. We can cut them out. We can do all that stuff. So what you would have to do, like say we're going to cut out the barmaid. Is there a, what kind of selections do we have here so we can cut out the arms? Freeform. Okay. So let's cut out our barmaid so we don't have his arm in there. Okay, good. Boot. Do a copy. Just, will this let me make a new one? Don't save. So there, now we have just our barmaid. Now, if it will, I wonder if it will let me resize. Will it let me resize? Sorry, I do not use this very often. Let's go pixels. Now here's where it gets tricky, because we want the horizontal to be 32. And we want, or sorry, horizontal will be 16. And then our size is 32, and you'll see it will look like crap. We don't want that. That'll make her pudgy, but that's okay. So you can see it does make it quite smaller. In fact, I think it actually did a better job turning it into pixel art than, although we did make her fat. So let's do an undo here. Interesting. Okay, so what we'll do is this, is we can do, let's go back to the resize. We let the contour or this be correct. So we'll still make this 16. Oh wait, no, we want the height to be correct first. That's the most important thing. 32, so that makes it 9, but that's okay. So that gives us her as a small character. And like I said, she actually looks better than she does in the one, but that's pretty much her. That's pretty much what she kind of looked like coming out of Photoshop too. And then we can just change the image size to match, or the canvas size to match, but you get the general idea. I just made them small and then use them as they don't look out of place in the game. So I'm like, okay. But yeah, you can do it in Paint. You just need to learn where all the commands are. Yeah. Somewhere in here has got to be a canvas size thing. Because if you take that and then just change the canvas size to 16 across instead of 9 across, then she'll still be the right proportions. But yeah, get the general idea. Cool. And then just bring that in as a sprite, which is what the sprites pretty much look like in the game anyway, because they're not hand-drawn. I do prefer hand-drawn stuff, so when it comes to the old sprites, but you can use that. You can use those as guidelines to bring that in. So if we go back to the game here, pull this stuff out of the way, take those out of the way, and we go to the different people. So what I did was I created in my objects directory, I now have townspeople, and we can pretty much pull any of them up and look at them. Look at their as an object, or we can look at their sprite. Like I said, this took some doing, so I did it offline. So here's the image. They're not great looking, but like I said, if you took these now and as a pixel artist went over and used them as guidelines to create the face and create all the stuff, you can actually make it look pretty well. You know, you can probably do it in Paint too, but these are resized to 16 by 32, which is, I thought was a good size for doing everything. Right now, they're still, because of the way I did it, they're all the same height, which probably isn't the best thing in the world, but we will change them later. When we start drawing them out, we can draw them bigger or smaller or whatever. You can see that we have everybody. But for mock-up purposes, I did do the boy smaller. So, but for mock-up purposes, you can see that can put you pretty far ahead for as you're doing the look and feel for that. And the way I wrote it out in the art program, let's see if I can find it back here. This one is, I can pretty much put anything in there I want. So if I said that I wanted something else, instead of a clergyman, I said I want a Viking berserker. I spelled that wrong, but okay. Kid and a Viking cook. That should be interesting. Then it'll give me, here's some, but it's for mock-ups, and you can keep going till you find a style that you like. that works with it. Like this has a lot less pixels, so this actually would probably convert down pretty easily. Yeah, but I was doing them 3 at a time just to bunch them together and then going into Photoshop and cutting them out. But it actually helps when it has that remove background where I'm just like, oh my God, that's awesome. Because it does give you an alpha when you save it out when you save it as an image. The only problem that I had is if they'll overlap each other. But it's okay. Sometimes they don't. You can keep going until you find something that looks right but doesn't overlap. That way you don't have to draw stuff like that. Okay, there you go. So even though it gave me an elf kid, not a Viking kid, but okay, whatever. But for mock-up purposes, I found it very helpful. Now I did not do that on. The reason I did it this way is because I spent so much time redrawing the tile set that it made it pretty. I was kind of burned out by the time it came to making these guys. So that was the only reason I did that this way. But it's actually a pretty good tool. I was not unhappy with what I got from it, and it gave me some really good mock-up stuff. So how about the helm? But horns are croissants. Yeah, I mean you can do a lot of different things. Mock it up and change it however you want. But that's just it. Is that we were talking about how to do quick compositing and quick creation, and that's kind of where we're at. Is now we have the ability. We have a tile set now that isn't the tutorial tile set, which helps us out quite a bit. And it was just fun to put together. So I like my trees. So yeah, so find the tools that help you and then use them. That's the thing. That's what makes me laugh. Is if you find the right tools, you can make anything you need. And you can make it a lot of it for free if you're doing stuff for just yourself or things like that. How about a him? Yeah, I mean you can do all kinds of things. The thing is you're not going to see that much detail on characters this size in game, which is why you would put the picture of them in the talking chat. Oh, silly stuff. Oops. So yeah, so there's our town. There's all of our little peoples. And they don't look bad from a distance. All the cats are gone except for the orange cat. And we'll draw some stuff for the flat part of here. I don't think that's right. I don't think that looks good. Well, let's see if this one looks good. Maybe this one will look better. I was trying different rock types. That's kind of. It's just too. It just stands out too much. I need to make it to where it's darker or something. I know what you're thinking. Well, then why don't you stop? Because I can't. I started it. I have to. Oh yeah, I drew all these over the weekend. Yeah, that's two. The statues don't stand out on that. What if we used, oh, let's see this. What if we use this stuff here, which we made for the build for inside? I mean, it would make them stand out more, that's for sure. We make it a different color. Oops. Yeah, it does make the statues stand out. You're probably asking yourself, well, why did you put a rock next to each one? So that people can come by and sit and talk to them. You can put stools there instead, but it's all cute stuff. Yeah, that's good for now. Let's use that. Because what we can do is we can use the fading area. But yeah. Yeah, so those are our little statues, which are the tombs. The basic thing right now was just to save some time of not having us draw everything. Yeah, you'd want a better contrast, but that's not it. I started working on card game mechanics for my game, and it's intimidating. It can be, yeah. Yeah, the rock style is more natural. Right now, they do stand out on this, so we'll leave this on here because we will make a. What I may do is if I take the rock that I have, the floor rock, this one here, this one, and redraw it with a little smoother. Take some of the blacks out of it, maybe. We'll see. But I did redraw like I really like the way the roofs turned out on the tile sets, and I really like that rock in for the cave and stuff like that. So if we go back to the intro, where are we at? Okay, river. No. Yeah, let me go to our opening. Where's it at? Okay, title. Oh, well, we changed it to the gate. That's right, I forgot. So let's go back to here. And let's turn light off. Turn upper instances off. Oh, so that just automatically fixed itself because I changed the tile set. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's got the little gray there, so works good. It's doing the job. Awesome. Mm. How do you make tiles? Oh, it's a pain. Let me pull Photoshop up here. I'll show you the basics of what I was doing. Photoshop, yes. So here's our tile set. Oh, that's way too big. Let me make this smaller. Okay, it just wigged out. I'm gonna have to make a new window because that one is way too big for Photoshop. See, that one's small. Good, we'll use this one. Okay, Photoshop tiles. So here's our tile set that we were working on. So if we start pulling the layers back, let me just turn everything off up here. These are all the layers. So there's a lot of built layers. This is just on one. So here's my dirt pattern. Here's some wood stuff still on there. But if you pull them, even those apart, So here's our base. So this is what we started with. Oh, well, no, this is not what we started with. I need to pull the other one up. Let's see if this is the right one. Basically, it's mostly just lots of layers. You go off and you build the layers and hope that, and then come back. So like if you look here, this is just where the grass was being worked on. So I'm taking the grass and making sure that let me turn these off. The ashes off. So here's our grass. And then as we start pulling through, at this point, I had already added the buildings with the new roof. I don't think I saved the PSD with where I worked on the roof, but you'll get the basics as I start adding layers here. You'll see changes happen. Like, so here's where now we have the right bottom of the building. So it matches the new, oh, sorry. Didn't realize we went to zombies. You don't have to use Photoshop to make tiles. You can make tiles anywhere. I just happen to have Photoshop. You can draw. There is a edit tool in Game Maker, but I haven't used it. I'm just used to using Photoshop, so it was easier for me to just jump into Photoshop and do a bunch of stuff, and then just keep working each thing and adding new stuff to them and stuff like that. So that's just easy working for me. Use what you have. So like here here's the level where I changed the water. Yeah. Yes, it was a lot of work. It took me pretty much most of Saturday and most of yesterday, but I was able to go and spend some time with my girlfriend yesterday, so that was good. But it is a lot of work, and these are just the final ones. Then I put this in, and the grass was too light, so I made it darker. Then I made our signs, which is just funny because I had talked about wanting to have signs that pointed in multiple places. So what I did was, if we go back into I keep forgetting that we're on zombies. I am so sorry. I'm talking over the zombies. Never heard of that. Okay, never heard of what? Oh yeah, the sprite editor. Like I said, I don't know. Photoshop and DPaint is what I always use. But what I was talking about before is I wanted multiple signs to put up so they would say multiple areas. So I made this, which you would think, oh, well, that's easy, except for one thing. Those arrows. Those arrows were very difficult. But what you can do is, depending on, I don't know if you guys know that the character thing for fonts. So character map for fonts, which shows you all of the fonts that are all the things that are available in the font that you have. Though, oh yeah, it will show. Okay, cool. So for the font that I'm using, which is just Cabria for this, these are all of the. I will put it in front here in a minute. These are all of the characters that are in that font that we can use. And you would think, oh, well, that's not very many, but there actually is. There's more down there than what you usually see. So you can scroll down and pretty much find anything you need, but you have to add it to your font set in GameMaker. So what I do is I went and found the arrows. In this particular case, I'll change the arrows so that you can see how they work. So we'll use, let me see if I can find some here that can use. I should be looking over here because this is clearer. So we can change the arrows. I just need to find some. I think they're down here. I just want basic arrows. Oh, they're so tiny though. My glasses are like, you're making me strain. Ah, I think I just passed them. Ah, there they are. So we'll say these 4 arrows here, right? So say we want to put these 4 arrows in. What you have to do is this, is we got to go and we have to say, okay, put that one in, and that one, and that one, and this one. And then you copy those. And then you come back to GameMaker, which we will do. So we will close that and we'll come back to GameMaker and we'll go to our, okay, we need GameMaker on our thing. And you go to your fonts. So we go back here and we say, okay, where is our fonts? Fonts. This is the one that we're using. And you have to add them. Oh, you can't see that from here, can you? No, because I got stuff in the way. Let me close some stuff up here. Ah, so you have to add them. So you can see down here that I have the arrows added already. But what you have to do is you have to say here, you have to add them here and say, okay, even though these are the font, this is the part of the fonts it's using, you can tell it to use more from that character set. And in this particular case, I've already added them and they're right here. But you literally, there's a whole thing for you have to add and then say what you want to add and you have to put it in here. So if I put that in here and then say add range, then it will automatically add them down here, but it's already there. So, but that's how you have to add them. And then when you go and you put your signpost together or whatever it is, it's using that particular so instance, that particular item, then you can use them inside here. So you can see that those arrows are now here. No, you can't see because it's too small. But that won't get any bigger. So, but you have to add the characters you want to use from your font into the font that you're using in GameMaker because it doesn't load all of the fonts. That also is if you want to use different dialects like Italian or German or Russian or whatever. That is all in that tile set, but you have to actually load them separately. So you can see where this is where my weekend was just putting all the stuff together and make sure it works. You're just wanting to be able to have characters that worked and things. So if I go back to the character set and I pull the arrows and say, okay, let's change the arrows in our sign to just regular arrows. Let's see, the first one is this one. So we'll go copy, go in here. That one. This one's over left. And graveyard is up. But this is what you need to do if you're going to use special characters on stuff. And then last one is down. Now when we do the build, it will have those special characters. And why did it say up? I wondered if that was supposed to be down. Did I grab the wrong one? I'm not very smart today. No, I grabbed down. Oh, it went back to the beginning. So yeah, this should be down at the end. Yeah. Okay. So now when we go back and do a build, it will automatically have that. Those arrows will work, or they won't end up as just a square, which is what happens to them when you don't do it right. Okay. You know, I hate working with fonts. Yes, it's a pain, but because you can pull the character sets up on them using the character map in Windows, which has always been there. It can be actually quite helpful. And you can do this with any font. You can look up any font that you have in your system, and it'll give you every character that's available in that font. And there's some cool things you can use and cool things you can do. It's just character map is what the name of it is. It's also good because if you're going to buy a font to use in your game, it's good to know if that font has multiple languages in it, which a lot of them do. And it's a good idea to look through them and say, oh, well, if I bought this font, then we have all the different languages and stuff in there. Then you don't have to buy multiple fonts for your game. You just buy the one that has the most. I was working with fonts in web browsers and drove myself nuts trying to figure out why Firefox wouldn't show the one I loaded. Well, because sometimes they can't, but it gets tricky. So what you want to do is make sure that the font you're using has as many options as possible. And then you can go and find the things that you do need. So now when we go to the sign, oops, need to actually put it on here. And that turned that one off. Of course it did. So now when we go and look at the sign, it will have the new arrows that we just put in. But as you can see, those ones didn't look very well. That's why I used the other ones. Back to town. Bad little kid. I'm Zach. I throw axes at fish. But the good thing about having those images that we showed before, these ones here, let me see if I can get them back up here. These ones here that are going to come up in the background, let's move them up a little bit just for this. So having these images here is when we're in the game, we can just take screenshots of the bigger image. Let me grab this. So we can take screenshots just like of the head, the top of his head and shoulders, and then put that in the text bars in the in-game, so that when we're talking to somebody, that picture comes up, and that can help emphasize. That way, it's okay if our sprites in game aren't perfectly clear, because we can bring their picture up over here. Like we can make a thing here where their picture comes up here, which is what I'm going to try to learn how to do. It wasn't in the tutorial, so I have to figure it out. I think I can. And it would be part of the new text box. So we'll work it out. So that's kind of where we are with that. So that was my weekend. And if I would have done it just on our show, it would have taken me a couple weeks to do what I did this weekend. And I was like, okay, we need to move things along a little bit better. Another thing I want to show here is, if I can get it, is reference material and how that works. Because I went out and was looking for reference material. So different kinds of woods, I'll show you here. Because reference material will save your life. So let's turn this on. So these are a lot of the things that I went out and looked for. I was looking for woods. Oh, let me see if let me pull that over this way a little bit. So I was looking for different kinds of wood. I was looking for different kind of blocks, a little bit of water, all kinds of different kinds of doors and stuff, different kinds of dirt, and then modifying them to meet our needs. This was grass I tried, it didn't work. you know, different boards. This is the different shingles and stuff, but you can also tell that when we finally got them all working, it all looked a lot different because we did a lot of modification on it, a lot of different things on it. I thought I could zoom that in. I guess I can't. Yeah, so it's all good. Different kinds of water. I was looking for things that would work, but also that could be tiled, which is the tricky part. So we end up with a much bigger choice. These were different grasses I was trying to make work. You know, then some raw stuff here. Oh, this was other stuff. Let's see what else we got here. But you can see it's just like, okay, let's go out and grab stuff. You know, different kinds of browns, different kinds of trees, different different color greens. You know, grass base, tile set base, male statue, female statue. You know, you build all this stuff. Here's the little statues. Look at your tiny little statues. But I didn't have the thing draw statues. Maybe I should have had the thing that drew the people draw the statues, but I didn't do that. Probably should have. And then just individual size guys. But yeah, so it was fun to go and try different things until I found something that worked, because it was driving me nuts. Also, like, I was using references like Mario and stuff like that for the kind of art. Um, trying different pixel art and stuff like that. But always pull your references in and do what you can to keep them. This was another references. I'm like, no, I want clean art. But that was a reference, and this was a reference that I pulled offline to try to um, give the thing an idea as to what I was looking for. Yep. So let me see if this is the full. Oh, that's the finished roof. Why didn't I save the making of roof part? I thought I saved all that stuff, but apparently I didn't. New rock. Oh no, that's just the rock, which I have to now replace. Boy. Base house. Oh, that's the bottom of the house. Oh, I can show that. So one of the things, like when I was working, let me see if I can make this bigger. Okay. Pull this up from here. So as you can see here, let me pull that over a little bit. So you can tell from all these layers, this is I was trying to make sure everything kind of fit. So we'll turn everything off here. And so I took the roof that I made, and I'm like, okay, I need to match the base part of the roof on the tile set. I have to match the base part of the house to that roof. So it's basically like, okay, let's start drawing things in. These are lines that we absolutely have to keep from the other thing. Here's some shadowing stuff. Let me turn the roof off so you can see what's going on underneath. So we turn all these tops off, and we put like, okay, here's a base piece of wood for the top. Here's base piece of wood for the bottom. Little piece of wood for the sides. You know, those are our basic pieces that we put in there. And then you start adding more detail, because you have to have shading on one side. You know, you have to have the logs on either side for the stability of them, and you have to actually have it on the screen, Joe, for them to see it, because you're a moron. Let's move this over. Up. Let's move that one over then. Okay. Go back to where we were. So you have to have your base woods. And that came from the stuff that we had. And then other pieces, like different kind of wood for the sides. Then to make the shadow parts to where it looks like there's some depth to it. All that is, in all honesty, is just some black made at 50% transparency. It's just a black, or a brown in this case I used, with a 50% transparency to give it a look like there was some depth to it. Then I put the side posts in. And all that is literally just a end of a log top and then some shadowing in the back for it to make it look deeper. And then does it fit on the roof? Yes, there's some issues there that I fixed, but this is an older version. And then the posts for the door so that it would match to the roof. So now when I turn the roof back on, the posts actually match to the roof, which is what you wanted to do. And then what was this last thing? Oh, that was just the top of the roof I was using for alignment purposes. But that's how I made the bottom one. Yeah, but it's funny because, and you guys have mentioned this a couple of times when I was working on stuff um, in the things is I get focused. When I get focused, it's you burn through a lot of stuff when you're focused. I was trying to fix that rock, but and you will make a lot of things when you're focused. And I'm really good at just turning that off. And that is what ended up here, where this is where it ends up in the tile set. I thought I saved everything to show you guys how I did this, but it doesn't look like I did unless I put it somewhere else. We open some of these things. No, I think this is just brown colors. Yeah. Another thing you want to do, like when you're drawing stuff, and I'll see if I can zoom in on this, if it will let me, is give yourself some palettes. So this is my browns. Then I have my greens. You really need to make palettes for yourself. And then keep to those palettes whenever you're drawing stuff. Oh, this was our tree when I made our happy tree. But I started to draw trees, but I always make palettes. And then keep those palettes, because you can give those palettes to other people that are working on things for you and say, okay, these are the color palettes I want you to use. And it works out. This was our green grass that I was working on making it seamless, which that took some time. Let's see, grass base, that's background. Male statue, female statue, those are just that. I was working on a stone floor. So this was a stone floor. But, let me turn this off, view. So that's a stone floor, but I just didn't like it in the end. I also made it gray at one point to try it that way, and it just wasn't working. But what I had to keep reminding myself, in fact, here's a gray one. Oh, it's not going to come up. Let's open that in. Open with Photoshop. So here's the gray version. But it just didn't, just didn't work. We already talked about. What else do I have over here that I missed? Oh, roof. It says roof. Oh, it's just the roof though. It's not all the things I used to make the roof. Okay, let's do this. Let's go. Anything made yesterday. Candle maker boy, stone floor, male statue, female statue, full tile set, male statue, shirts, call sign, tile set, walls, doors, new building top. Is that the one? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Yes. Oh, make it a little smaller so it fits on our screen. So if we turn off all the layers, it should be the old building. Nope. This is the old building. So here's the original building front, the top of the building front. So the goal was to brains. I will stop for a moment because I'm doing it again. I'm gonna grab my water real quick. I got my water. I'm getting awful dry. Yeah, it seems pretty low. It's just something to add a little, I don't know, little something to the ads. I know it startled some people the first time it played when we played it for the first time last week because I put it in. Hopefully next week, hopefully end of this week, we'll have music for our background as well, but we'll see. So, like I was saying, is if what this was the original front of the building as per the original tile set. So what I was doing was I'm like, okay, well, first thing I did, let me see if I can pull it all up here. I had to draw a new door, so I drew a new door. It's a little big, but that's okay on this particular one. But so what I did was I went and used this as the base, turned that off. Let me turn that top one off. And I said, okay, here's the top wood, and I used reference wood from what we were doing before and made it all to the opening of this for the full size. Then I added where the door is going to be for a piece of wood across for where the door is going to be, the bottom of the door, the bottom of the thing. And all these are very roughed in. So I'm like, okay, let's do the side pieces because these are the pieces that match up to those side pieces there. And it was just, okay, layout. Then here's a piece just on its side, which will be for this top piece here. I know this is probably very boring, but I'm just trying to show you how I got to where we're doing, what I was doing. Do the same thing over here where it's just basic side pieces for that, then put a little block on the end for the block on the end of that, made it a little bit bigger, but that's okay. Then I'm like, okay, well, put the outline over it. It doesn't look too bad. It's all right. The problem I had with it, it didn't have any good shadowing, so I put some shadowing in, which is once again just black with a transparency on it. And we can turn it all the way up. It's all brown, not black, but just to give the hint that there was an overhang there. So yeah, and then let's see what this, and then just put the door on it, and that ended up being the front of our our piece. See if this is the right one. No, that's not the right one. Floor. No, this is me working on the floor. Wasn't really happy with it, but I think this is the one I ended up using. It's just redrawing the floor. Let's see what else is in here. That's just that. Trying different colors and stuff like that. What's in this group down here? Oh, this is just, so I took the floor that they had and literally just started putting the pieces in. So this is the highlights, this is the dark sides, this is the division. I took a piece of wood from our wood references and used it with the outlines. And then just put it together, put it back together, put my highlights in, which I did because I didn't like their highlights, but put that together. So that worked out very nicely for that. House base, we already went over the house base. New building top? No, that's just the front. That's not the top. Doors. Walls. Oh, this was the brick walls. Or the bricks. The ones that are around the so started building those out. These ones weren't that hard to do. It was just basically getting the basic shape. Here, making an alpha of it or a selection of it, and then using that selection to cut out the bricks. So it worked out really well. So we turned this off. It gives you what the basic bricks are, and then we added the color back into it afterwards. So this one has the final leaves and stuff like that are go on the top. It basically goes from that to that. And then what I did on this, on the final one, is I put a little of our black shadowing around the outside of it. So on the final tile set, there's actually some black shadowing there. So if we look here, I think it's on this one, might be on this one. No, it's not on this one, but so you can see this is where I was testing the grass to see if the grass looked right. Because the grass came out very like bright. You know. Oh, and this was where I was making the tall sign. I wanted a tall sign. What can I say? So I just made a tall sign. And here's the old tile set with the new building. That was our new building. You can see as I was going on, I was changing things. You see what I put on here. So this is all the bottom stuff. What is this one? Oh, this is where the layer where the grass was way too bright. So I toned it down quite a bit. It was just too bright for me in the game. It was just like not working. Then it was me changing the bricks and stuff just to make them prettier. So yeah, move that over a little bit. No, that's not going to move over. Let's make this smaller. Okay. So like I was saying is, let's move this here. So if I turn on and off the bricks, you'll see just replacing them, you know, but also keeping the greens and all that stuff in there because that's important. But I'm still looking for, I think this was the final. No, this is not the final. Single X is the final, isn't it? This one. Oh, would have to be it, but I'm not seeing my shadow for turn all this stuff on. Okay, yeah, so this is the final. I just had a bunch of stuff turned off. So you can see where the final, the grass turned out a lot darker. Even the green spots are a little bit darker. Oh, we don't have our wood. Turn our wood on. Oh, that's our dirt. Turn the dirt on. And then the wood. We put a piece of wood on for the bench. But if we look over here, let me see if I can find it on this. Yeah, that's it. So this is, like I said before, it's like, okay, well, we just want to make that a little bit shadowy. So made a basic shadow around this with using just black and making it a little bit more transparent. Just little basic things that make a big difference. I didn't have to do that, but it just like, okay, well. And then, okay, this isn't the final one because I put the, I think I put it here was the tall sign. Oh wait, no, the tall sign is actually a sprite. It's not a background. We're looking at how, okay. I like it. Yeah. Oh, I'm not? I can be boring. And then I move the pixel from here all the way over here. Now there were things, in fact, it shows even, I'll show you on this one. When I finished my grass, and I didn't notice it till I made it darker. You see those three little spots? 1, 2, 3. Those are not good. So you have to look for things like that when you're creating stuff at a speed. Same thing on the dirt. If you look over here on the dirt, and on the final, I fixed it. So it's not like that in the one that's in the game. But you have to look for those things. So as you're making changes to pieces that you're working on, you have to look for things that are going to stand out like that. Because you may think, oh, well, it's not a big deal here. But once you start putting it in the game, that one pixel shining brightly everywhere all over your map will drive you absolutely crazy. So, but yeah, and then I put a little bit of, I think on the final one, I put a little bit of shadow of the grass on the dirt and on the lake and the thing, even though I do have to still fix the water, but water's not done. Then we have our silly female statue. She's tiny. Male statue, also tiny. Our brick, which we already looked at. Our stone that we already looked at. Boy, butcher, and then all the characters that we pulled in. So they were this big, and I just, like I said, basically I wasn't going for pretty, I was going for just getting it done. So if I said I wanted a height of 32, unfortunately you can't see what, this is what it ends up looking like when it gets finally small. And that's what you see in the game. So, but you could go in here 1 pixel at a time and put his face back in and flatten him out and make him look more like our cat that is our main car. Yeah. I've been working on the trail set myself, and it is so challenging. Yeah, it's a difficult thing to do, especially when you put it in the game. If you put it in the game and you have a line or something that is out of place, the game is going to let you know right away that it looks like crap. So, I mean, because even ours, I mean, if I go back to our game, the making of game, not the actual game, but even looking at this, you can see this dark thing here. Let me put that, this here. I would go in and make more adjustments on the tile set. So if we look at the tile set in Photoshop, let me pull the actual finished tile set up. Open, we want the one that we're actually using. So go back to assets, down here, new. Let's pull our final tile set in. So let me go back to Photoshop now. So if we look at this piece here, oh wait, Photoshop didn't come up. Okay, so if we go over here and look at our piece here, and tile sets 100% will drive you out of your mind. So we look at that, and what we're seeing in game is, you see this line here and this line here? That's what we're seeing in game. That's what's making it look like there's a pattern there. So what you're going to do literally is just go in and touch it up. And all you're doing is you're getting a single pixel brush, literally a single pixel brush. And you're going, okay, I want a little bit of this color. We're going to put it, why is it not touching it? Oh, because we didn't go back to the draw tool, you dumbass. And so then we go here, we go, okay, we're going to put that there to break that one up. Maybe one there. Okay, we're going to get some lighter ones here. And put some there and there. But you don't want to go too far, because if you go too far, you'll make another pattern. So you want to get away from that and trying to get as many lines out of it as possible. It's not going to be perfect, you know, but it's not, you're going to break those lines up, hopefully. So now there's still a line here, which will break up a little bit more with some other colors, but you get the general idea is you basically have to go in and hunt and peck things sometimes until you get it right. And as a one one pixel at a time, it can drive you kind of crazy, but in the long run, you'll have something that doesn't look as straight liney, for lack of a better way to put it. Okay, so we probably caused another pattern. Let me fix one more thing here. I'm gonna go with this one, and we're gonna take that and put it there. Nope. See that square? That square there is bad. There's not enough different colors in there. So let's grab that one. So we have a little bit lighter one. So you just go in there and let's do it there. There, and then we'll fix the other one by putting a dark one next to it. Just for giggles. So now we save that. Just do a save. And we'll see how bad the line turns out. Now it doesn't, you can't tell yet because we have to actually load the tile set back in. So we go there, we say image, we want to load the tile set back in. Assets, new tile set. Says replace it. So replace that. Now when we go back to our world, see it doesn't look as much as it did. And we blurred it a little bit, but it doesn't look as repetitive as it did before because it doesn't look like there's that line in there. It looks a more natural kind of feel to it. And there's still some other things we can make because now we've made like a loop here. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me move this. So now we've made a little bit of a loop here in it, but that's not as bad as the other line was. So, oops. From a distance, you can see it's not too bad because it kind of looks like it's all going one way. Let me see what's going on over here. I've been working on tile sets. It's literally play with it, plug it in, play with it, plug it in. It can be very interesting. What you can do for some tile sets is get your reference and then cut your middle out into bands, like a band up, band down on each side that touch each other, and then move those to the opposite ends so that you can do a wraparound and then fill in the center. Yeah, just. Oh, okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm reading some of your guys' comments. Yep. And what you will find is AI randomizers will destroy you. Because you can sit there forever and it's not gonna randomize it to something that looks good on screen. But we have to do the same thing with the water, as I haven't done the water. So because you can see the bottom part of the water is dark. So what you would do is if we go back to the tile set where that water piece is, let's turn that back on. We go over to the water. The problem is this bottom half is too dark. So there's a lot of silly things you can do with it. Is you can say, okay, well, let's grab the top half. Just for giggles, of course. We'll grab the top half. Oh, we'll grab a little more than the top half right to there. We'll say copy and then paste. And just so that we keep a consistent color, something like that might actually be all we have to do for the water. So we merge them and then save it. And then go back to our thing and say, okay, let's reload the tile set. Yes, you do have to reload the tile set. And that may fix it or may make it worse. We'll find out in a second. Go back to our town. And you can see where on the right side where I actually use that tile, it's not as bad. I mean, there's still way too much repetition in there, and there's too much dark on the right edge. But you can also see that it is a little bit better than what it was, because this is what it was, and this is what it is now. So if we go back to our tile set and take that and actually fill all of this, it takes that dark away, but we still have a dark, the dark line on the right side. So we would go back and add some of the lighter color in there. Yeah. So if I go back to, and which I've just done, is I've gone back and I'll grab a piece of, let's see, let me turn the grid on a minute, because I think I'm thinking it's the right side when it's actually the left. Yeah, it's the left is where the dark side is. Let's go back to here. We can do another cut and paste where we need 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I only need 4 pixels. So if we grab this, say here, and then paste it and move it over there, that might take it out. Might put a bit of a, yeah, we'll see, because it might look like waves. So that's actually not too bad. Merge that together. I'm just doing the same thing we just did a minute ago. I'm just changing the right side of the water to something lighter. Okay, back to adding it. But for me, this was the easiest way to do it. Now when we go back to our town and we pull out and turn the grid off, it helps if I'm on the right screen, doesn't it? See, it's not too bad. It looks more like water now, like wavy water, than like something else. And then we go back and we'd have to fix our transitions pieces. But you get the general idea. You play with it until it looks like something that looks more natural. You just keep playing this. How do you optimize priority list for tasks? In all honesty, for me, when I'm working alone, like I am now, it's literally, oh, what do I need to do? What needs to be done? And then what time do I have to do it? And then once I get in mode, I just start doing stuff. And I go, oh, okay, now I did that. Now I need to do this. Okay, I need to finish this. I need to go back and forth. Like there's a couple things that I still need to fix on the buildings. You know, there's literally a 1 pixel problem on the building. You know, so what? How could that be 20 minutes already? What the hell? Ah, sorry. Gotta get paid. Did we get some subs today that didn't come up? I'm sorry. Oh, shit. Go back here and see. I get caught up in it. That's why I made that alert system, and it doesn't look like the alert system alerted me. I'm not seeing them. Because it says we're at 19. I thought we were at 13 this morning. I'm not seeing it in the... Must have been earlier. I'm sorry, guys. Whoever subbed in the last few hours, thank you very much. I don't mean to miss those. And my auto system that tells me it does the big pa-brown, apparently didn't run. I'm not seeing it, the people's in the chat though. Could have happened during ads. That's possible, but it still should have come up. Because I have it as a run always. And my understanding from SteamerBot was that if it was run always, it would still play. But it also would have been put in the queue, and the queue would have held it until the zombies were done to play after. But oh well. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's definitely hard to miss. I didn't hear it either, so it's rather loud. 3 seconds till the zombies go away. Okay. So you just play with it until you're happy with it. And in this particular case, if you look, it's pretty close to being right. It just kind of looks like waves. There's still some little bit of a line here, but that looks like it would be an easy fix. And then we would take that square and use it to fix these outer pieces on the board. And then at least it would be a consistent look. But yeah, there's still a bit of a gray or a blue line here that we could add some different things to. And then you can say, okay, well, on which side is it? It's still the right side that has the line. No, wait, no, that's more the left side, but yeah. But tile sets can be very tricky. And especially when you're trying not to create patterns. I mean, even the grass is still has a little bit of a wave pattern to it, but I think it actually kind of works. Whereas with the water, we have to be a little bit more picky. Instances. Yeah. So now that we have peoples, we can start putting the peoples inside the buildings. Sorry, this thing's not cooperating. So we can just grab them. We'll go townspeople because they're on a different level. We can put them inside the building so you don't see them till you go inside. It's better. I should turn, the grid looks like it's on a 32, isn't it? Yeah, it's on a 32. Put it back on 16. It'll make it easier to place these guys. I just put them outside that we could so we could show them there. Okay, yeah, that's better. So I want to show you guys that every building had their own peoples. Actually, it's okay if you get above that. Nah, it looks silly. There. Right there, pal. This one doesn't have, isn't a, so this will be actual room. The ones that are actual rooms, we'll be putting them in the rooms. We can do that with the cleric real quick. I'll show you what I mean. So because the church is a completely different map, go, where is it at? It's a completely different room. Go to rooms. Go to temple. We would put him in there instead of outside. Same thing with the teacher. So if we go back to the town, we now remove him. Bye. And then go down here to the school, grab the teacher. And we go to the school up here. You put her in there. Well, you hope. There she is. We'll put her there. And then go back to here. Take her out of this one. We haven't built this one yet, which is the boarding house. Oh, no, we have. Okay. I didn't think we built that one yet. Oh, yeah, I think we made them, but they're all blanks. So there's the boarding house guy. There's going to need to be artwork for all this stuff, and I just don't have it yet. I just don't have time for it yet. We'll work it out, but we can actually start putting together some of the more story stuff. Stables. Did we build a stable? No, we haven't built the stable yet. Okay. Blacksmith. No, we have not built the blacksmith yet. Nor the hotel. Town village. Okay, up here. We'll have to do this. Let's do this. We want to create a group. We're going to call it town buildings. And then we can do this. We can drop them in there. Cave, no. Family guy. Nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. School, yes. Temple, yes. Go ahead and put town in there too. That way everything keeps together. There's title shop. I think that was the test shop, but we'll put it up here because we're going to probably turn it into another building. River parent, because this is our parent room, and it's the one that we do all the settings for all the things for all the buildings in. Okay, so it's our graveyard, so let's do that real quick. Let's call it graveyards for now because we have the family crypt and the graveyard. So it's always good to keep things kind of in order. Doesn't have to be, but it's just, I don't know. Let's do this. One more group, and that's just going to be the base. And what we'll do is we'll put our initial building in that just because that's where most of them get their parent. It's the parent of most of the buildings. Are those original art assets or are they from an asset pack? Those I drew. The ones you mean for the background and the tile set and all that? I just literally went through showing how in Photoshop I made all those this weekend. So Tuto. If you would have been here literally 20 minutes earlier, you would have shown me going through all the layers and stuff in Photoshop and all that stuff. And creating them. Okay, so then this is just, okay. Because we're going to have a lot of different forests, I think grouping the forests together would be a good idea. Forests. Run, forests, run. Because we got that. We have, okay, cave will save because the cave will eventually become part of the parent could go in it. River will end up being part of the forest. And then in the base, I think we can put our title in the base as well. We'll probably be changing that up. And then these are just extra things. Tudo, did I answer your question? Yeah, we were literally just going through Photoshop showing how I modified and made all of the new tile pieces. And there's still some to still be made. So if you look even here, you see this repetitiveness here, that all has to go. So I do need to make a back one. You can still see like the top of the door here. So I'll have to make a flat piece, a separate flat piece that can be used to clean up areas like this. Just so that there's some consistency to the overall drawing. So I just didn't make them yet. The same thing here because we didn't have backs of buildings. So, but yeah, you can see is most of the people nows are in their building. So we have the school shop. We still have to build the restaurant, boarding house. We have, but now let's do let's do one of our builds here and see if we go in those and they're okay. They should be, because now they should be actually in the actual buildings. Yeah, it's funny because when I finished the buildings for the tile set, all I could think of is the old camp settings, the log cabin settings in the camps, in kids camps. Okay, so if we go into, let me bring this up. Sorry, I thought the game capture came up. Give it a second. So if we go into the building now over here with in the temple, then our guy should be in there. So there. And he took all of his stuff with him. So he's like, good, come to me. Oh, it's still broken. Same thing with the teacher. Now she's in her building up. And we have to put some collision in this building. Talk to me, lady. I will teach your kids. And then this guy should be in his building. We have some layer issues to fix still. Yep. Innkeeper. I think those are all the ones that we put in buildings. Wait, no, we have some down here. But they're roof ones, which is kind of cool because we can do that and say, I need like 4 pots, you know, whatever. But sorry, I was going to sneeze, but it turned into a yawn, which I can still feel a sneeze in there, so it may come out here in a second. But yeah, being able to go in the buildings now and talk to them just is pretty cool. Oop. That's funny. You can see him outside the building. I think I put him too low, so he's showing up on top of the building, not in the building. That's funny. Same thing with that guy. I have to move them all up one. It's like, but cool. But that makes it easier so we don't have to make rooms for everything, every single one of them. Yeah, sneeze gets stuck. It's funny because it's up there. It'll come out. I like the roads because I like the roofs because they're yeah, it's one of the things in the tutorial that he teaches you how to do is how to do these kind of roofs, but also how to do it for the buildings themselves. I just have to figure out on the building when we have the building ones how to get him to actually walk in the building without. So if we go back to this one, if it'll let us go back in, see how you can see him outside the building? I want to be able to make it look to where he looks like he's going in. Once these are done, they don't come back. I don't know why. I have to fix that. Figure out what's going on with that. But yeah, so there's a lot of things. There's a lot of layers things that we have to work on. I guess we can put the leader in the town hall. Let's do that. Now, the only thing the character we're using right now is not one of ours. It was the one in the tutorial because I didn't have time to start working on a character for us yet. We will get there, but I haven't been able to do it yet. But I think I've replaced all. I still need to redraw the signs. Yeah, so there's still stuff that needs to be redrawn to get away and the little plants. I have to redraw those, and the artwork for the UI and stuff like that. So we'll get to all that. Um, but yeah. This is us clearing the forest. Woohoo, stuff. But it definitely is looking more, I don't know, more rugged, or for lack of a better way to put it. But yeah, trying different things. Yes, this is Game Maker Studio. Oh, I forgot about his hat. It's still sitting up there somewhere. Because we do have the questing system in now. I just got to remember how to. I move things around, so I don't remember where I put the teleport. Okay, so his hat is up this way. Let me get my swinger ready here, because we're going to be attacked. Okay, let's get rid of this one. And then we need bombs. Go in here. Okay, we need our hook. Oops. Helps if you push the right button, Joe. Ah! Ah, he killed me because I couldn't see past the UI to save myself. Oh, I gotta do it all over again. I actually am not unhappy with the way this tile set looks as far as the grass and the roads now. There's still a couple unknown spots in there. Like you see when I remember when I was talking to you about the white spot? See that white spot? That's what I was talking about. Is I didn't get all the white spots out of the tiles, out of the dirt tile set. So you have to think about that. The problem is I always forget I'm not facing them all the time. Dang bats. There were bats. Okay, so let's use that. Hopefully he's going to be flying right there. So let's get over to the side here. Get our arrows out. Ah, nice. We got those ones. We only get one. We only have one hit left, but oh well. Oh, that's bad. We can't see the top of the. He's not following correctly. Oh, it did not make it to the hut. But yeah, so yeah, these look very much like camp. Very camp. Yeah, I need to adjust that. So we'll get that adjusted. Priority fix should be the camera not. Mm-hmm. Well, since the only person playing it is me, it doesn't make game testing that much difficult. But it was about having the functionality, and they're not actually playing it at this point. But now we're getting to the point to where we can actually start building some quests and stuff like that, and we can start thinking about the dungeons and things like that, which that one was just a test dungeon. So the villagers, I actually showed how I got the villagers earlier as well. They were originally I found a thing for just making solid, not animated villagers. Let me see if I still have it up. I think I turned. Oh, I do. So for the villagers, I'll just recap here a little bit. What time is it? Yeah, it's a good time for a recap. So let me see if I still have it in this. Oh, see, now it's working. Look at that. Goody, googly-eyed beast. Thank you very much for the follow. Googly-eyed beast. A snon. Yeah, what I used for just getting some villager art was this program here, which I showed earlier, because I needed something just to be in there. And this is a free use program. So let me see, it created the artwork. Let me grab it, put it up here. And all I did was put in all the different names for the different kinds of villagers I wanted. And then, said, generate it. And then use those as the base for the villagers, just so we had some. And then this also does an automatic removal of the backgrounds, which I thought was pretty cool. And then you can just grab them and save them as a thing. And zombies back again. Really? Oh, man. There must be a... I didn't realize... I'm sorry, everybody. I didn't realize I was talking that much. I literally feel like I just got up. Yeah, it's no big deal. Bats happen. But I'll put a link to this one up so that you guys can play with it a little bit. But that's how I built the villagers, just so that we could have them. They don't do anything. They're just images. And then I shrank them down to where they're completely unrecognizable. But yeah. So like, here's the little boy, our little axe thrower. But they're just villagers. I am the leader. I am the idiot. Hmm? Yeah, so as you guys can see, I mean, we've done pretty well for... I think the only thing we've spent any money on at this point is the ability is to pay for the ability to do builds, which was like $90 for the year or something like that. And that was a game maker thing. So And I'm not even sure I had to do that, but I did it just for expedience sake. But yeah, between the tutorial that I did and the different ways of finding art and building art and stuff like that, it's just time. We're going to put a lot of time into these things. And sometimes it's going to turn out good, sometimes it's not. But reworking artwork and stuff like that is so that we can build tile sets and things is actually not a bad idea. I just need to put those guys closer into the building because they're standing on the outer edge. But these guys aren't showing up outside the building. Neither is she or he. She isn't. But yeah. Yeah, those ones haven't been set yet. Yeah. Cool beans. Cool. Well, that was an interesting bug. I didn't do it again. Oh well. I'm really digging your art though. It's pixel, but still has detail. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done pixel art. So there's still some issues, but we'll clean it up. Um, and also when we start actually drawing our character, our main character, he'll be he will definitely look a lot different and look more like he belongs in this world, where right now he's just 2D flat art. Do you have a list of your resources? I said I will put it up after today's show because I'm not going to stop the show just to put things up. But yeah, which is we only have 7 more minutes for this segment, so we will see how that goes. But things that we have to do is I have to clean this up to where I have to make tops for the graves that are already filled. I do have to make some more some hole art for when we're done for digging holes. I do need to make a tile set for the area around our family statues. Right now, I put a rock next to them so that you could sit and talk to them. The whole point goes, oh, I have a rock to sit and talk to great grandmothers. Love the trees. Oh, yeah, those are actually were made for as emotes for my for my Twitch channel. So they're in there. They wanted happy trees, and we gave them happy trees and happy clouds. Because everybody loves Bob Ross. But I think something here is more, I think that it'd be more like I want to do flat stones in grass. So that actually is probably what I'll probably do for this, is so that there's a little bit of gray there, but you're also in grass, unless I turn this into a building within a building, which I think would just be a not thing to do. We love our happy trees and happy clouds. Well, thank you very much. And another thing I was thinking about doing is for inside the buildings is creating a couple tile sets for the ground. Like I wanted a wood floor as well. And I was trying some different pieces of wood for it. I just haven't found the right one yet. But eventually we will have a wooden floor for inside the buildings. Because I don't want, I know this is silly, but I don't want every building to have the exact same floor. So the temple looks older and abandoned for a while. Maybe. We only just built it. We haven't put anything in it yet. I was a happy little accident, but I'm sure they regret it now. Okay, so let's close this up. Let's close that up because we're not going to need that again. Game capture is off over here. Still have, let's move that down. I can't kill that right now. Digging my way back. Another thing I did is I put all the villagers on one level so I can kill them off if I have to. But let's fix these two guys here that seem to be not underneath the roof. Now they're under the roof. Now hopefully they'll stay under the roof. Let's see. Nobody over here. We haven't built those rooms yet. But cool. But for temporary space holders, I think they work. And then we can turn our trees back on and our roofs back on. Good. Oh, and here's our new benches because I did the benches with a new piece of wood. I still have to draw beehives though. I forgot about that. Because we wanted to put 4 beehives on here so you can get honey. It's not. It's just. It was something I had. It's not because we haven't picked what world we're in yet. I just wanted something that looked interesting because my way of looking at it is this tile set will probably be thrown away, for whatever we decide our world is going to be, whether it's space world or a snow world or whatever else. Right now it's just about making everything kind of look like it's functional as opposed to saying this is the world we're in. We don't know that yet. We've done a lot of basic design and stuff like that, but we haven't decided on a world. We haven't decided on a theme. And when we do, all of this will be replaced. I'll save it and I'll probably use it somewhere else, but it doesn't mean that it belongs to this world because we don't know what our world's in yet. It was just the easiest to throw together in a weekend. Hope that helps. Okay. Let's do a save here because I realize I haven't saved in a while. So we do need to save it. We did a little bit of organizing. We did, we put, did a little bit of work on the grass, a little bit of work on the water, but we do need to put that water in the edges of the map now. So what I mean by that is let me see if this is the right one. It can be. So even though we have it in the base tile for the water, pull out a little bit, we still need to now propagate that base tile in underneath. Come on. Underneath here so that it works with our edges. We do need to go back to our dirt and remove that spot. So let's do that real quick. Let's just grab a random, grab that one. Now we'll take this spot out if we turn the tile set on. Yep. Oh. Now that very bright spot is gone. I think these ones are okay, but just in case, we'll go ahead and make them clean. Oh, wait, there's one down here. Tricky little hider. Check this one. Yep. That's okay. should also maybe draw, let's do this. We need draw a little bit more shadow underneath the plant. So that it sticks out a little bit more. That'll be enough. Yeah, that'll be fine. I do need to rework those a little bit too. You can see here's the bench now, just using a piece of wood. Oh, see, here's some more highlights we need to fix over here. See, sometimes you miss those things and you have to go, okay, well, let's go fix those. And you just get a color and fill them in. Oh, it kind of works. I don't mind the duller ones, but the bright ones always stand out. I got a couple up here. Yeah, it's not too bad. Kind of works. That one needs to go, and this one needs to go. Okay. Yeah, all of our highlighted edges are done. Now we're all good. Yeah, so one of the things I'm going to do is put down here is that bottom straight piece so that when we have long walls on the bottom, we can cover them. And then there's one pixel here that I need to do something about because the door is this pixel here. Is a problem with the doors, but all good. Because we don't want a black line on that side. Here's our gate. Okay, yeah, let's save that. We don't have any layers, so save. Go back here, make sure we put it in. You can see the little dots disappeared or will disappear on the far right side. Turn that off. So we put it in, and now we can go back to our town or our village or whatever and see that those highlights are all gone now. We're all good stuff. Do one last build to check to make sure that the guys are in the buildings. Okay, copy over and run. And hopefully they're no longer outside the buildings. We will see. Nope, they're all good. Yeah, I guess if they just get too close to that wall, they come up outside the building. Cool. Cool. Alrighty then. It is 3:36. we need to move along. So hopefully, I'm sorry, I got kind of carried away and just kept going, and I wasn't answering questions as I usually do. But as you can see, there's been a lot of movement forward. It's not perfect, but like I said, this is us mocking something up. It's not, we're not making a final game. We're doing mock-ups to see if what we are thinking about doing is viable. But now we have characters in place for most of our in-town characters. There's a couple more we're still missing, but not too many, and I'll run those off at some point. And we'll start plugging stuff in is probably the next thing. Is the goal is to start, okay, kid comes home, grandpa's dad, grandpa's missing. We have to build his house, because we do have a building for it, but we haven't built the house in this new artwork. We built it in the old system. And then we have to start building out from where he's going to go do things. We do have trees now that we can cut down, and we can get logs. It's visually taking shape. But what I would say, Savvy, is this: it's visually taking shape, but the underlying story isn't implemented yet. But we will get there. It's just going to take us a bit of time. And I'm going to have to, and I know that I said that I was going to try not to do this, but I'm going to have to put some hours in offline to get some of the things together that I need, also to make sure that I'm doing things properly. Like, I've been very lucky in regards to the tutorial stuff that I learned working for most of the stuff we've done so far. But now we're going to start getting into adding some dialogue, adding quests, things like that are going to take up an awful lot of stress. And I still don't know the limitations of Game Maker. So we'll have to see how that, we'll have to see how I can break that. I'm good at breaking things.